Schönen guten Morgen. Good morning to everybody to this huge and exciting experiment to convert the former postal logistics center into an event space, into a festival city, to convert these huge premises into a space for symposia, lectures and workshops. I hope it will somehow work out with the acoustics. I'm sure it's a little bit more exhausting than usually in our nice and cozy Bruckner house where we have the perfect conditions for presentations and lectures. But we just thought there is no way to have these huge exhibitions, projects, events here in the Post City and then having the symposia, the lectures, dealing with these topics on some other remote place. We are starting the series of lectures and symposia this year one day earlier actually. Those who are coming often to us Electronica know Friday is normally the first day of our symposia, but we have a special situation this year that due to the topic of the festival, Post City and the habitats of the 21st century, it was an obvious choice from the beginning to team up with the people from the Connecting Cities program, a very interesting program funded by the European Union that is going on now since 6 years already. 3 years, it was the previous one before. It's, so to say, the second run already. And it is a program that has been very successfully building up a network of artists, technicians, activists, who are involved and engaged in the idea of developing media architecture beyond the usual way of media facades, where you have a big screen on the facade of a new skyscraper or a shopping mall, and the only thing it does is showing some videos, usually some advertisement, but rather trying to connect artists to use the existing infrastructures all over the world, but also to engage artists to develop new ideas. What it could mean to connect cities, between cities, but also inside of cities, with the use of digital technologies, display technologies, and how this could change the way how architecture is thought of and how architecture is developed. This is, as I said, the obvious choice to integrate in this festival. It is one of the Thus, it became one of the major conferences and activities this year. There will be also a lot of workshops and artists' presentations, and I only can advise you to take really some time to consult our program brochure. In particular, on the website, you find much more details about each of the conferences, each of the projects. But without any further ado, because I'm only the host this year of this project, but I'm not the mastermind behind it. And the mastermind who developed the concept and who always has been the driving force, because all of you, I think, are very much aware how much energy and dedication it needs to run these networks in European Union projects, to keep all the people together, to keep them focused on deadlines and on outcome and results. And this has been Susa Bob, and it's a great pleasure to have you here with this conference and with you in person for a very interesting, not only day, but the whole week, because today the topic of the symposium is connecting cities, connecting citizens, and tomorrow we totally shift to the second part and focus on the connected and connecting of citizens. I think many of us are strongly aware how important it is for the future of the concepts like smart cities and all these fancy names, that we really start to think beyond just the technology and the infrastructure. Smart cities is usually a concept how big IT companies can make big business by selling servers, sensors, cameras, software, and all these kind of things. But the really important point, of course, is the smart citizens. It is how can we maybe in the future outsmart the super smart systems. And I think one of the answers will be, let's get connected. And this was also the reason to bring you here this morning already in a more informal way. The situation of the symposium, of course, having people all around is in a place like this, it was the best choice to do. It is a little bit challenging. I always feel like a dancer when I'm trying to address each of you. What we recommend is if there are smaller audiences, like this morning, or especially the morning sessions, always suffer a little bit from the hangover of our participants, maybe you gather in 1, 2, or 3 segments of it. Then you can have your very traditional, familiar one-direction speech. If you like to get a spin in your head, then continue to do like this. I wish you a very exciting today, and now I hand over to Susa Bob, and again, thank you very much for coming and bringing this program.
Yes, thank you very much for this kind introduction, and of course also thank you very much for hosting the Connecting Cities conference here after already a 3 years started program, and at this beautiful venue. I also like it that it's a post office or post building and has the topic, so this coincidence, maybe you let us know later about it. And yes, so there is a little film. I don't know whether it's already running, because just to get you an impression in my 5 minutes talk what it is all about, you already told the most important issues. Actually, we started with the Media Facades Festival together with us Electronica already in 2010 and made this experience to connect cities with media facades and media architectures and to bring the people in exchange. At those times, 7 cities were participating, and then we have this follow-up program, a multi-annual program supported by the European Union, the cultural program of the European Union, and which gave us all together 10 contracted members the opportunity to explore the commercial potential, or let's say the creative potential of commercially run infrastructures, digital infrastructures, like digital screens, urban screens, media facades, media architectures. And now we started with these 10 cities. Meanwhile, the whole next network expanded. There are around 25 cities who are participating in the program. And what is really interesting is what you maybe see here. Each of our partners has a very different urban context. So some of them, they are media facades owners and deal with a permanent program during the whole year. Others, they have a temporary infrastructure and build their urban media environments by themselves. And this is fantastic that all these partners can share the knowledge and the experience what we gain with these projects. And yes, so every year we develop around 10 to 15 projects. We co-curate and co-produce them, and the goal is that these artistic projects are circulating on this infrastructure. So I would say that at least every project is shown and presented in 3 or 5 of the cities, and it's interesting to see how the projects work in a different way. We had 3 annual curatorial topics for this whole program. The Networked City in 2013, which focused on, yes, the live networked scenario between cities and citizens beyond the infrastructure, beyond the physical infrastructure, the media facades as a membrane between the digital and the urban space. So that was around 15 projects which were dealing with this issue. And then in 2014, it was the participatory city. It was the aspect of the community building part. How are these urban screens community platforms to co-create our cities? Can we include neighborhoods in creative processes? And now this year we have the focus on the invisible, visible city. This fits very well in the whole context of smart cities. How can we visualize hidden technologies, data flows through artistic scenarios on these urban media environments? Yes, I'm very happy that a lot of our partners could join us here at the Ars Electronica, and also I'm very happy that there is a wonderful program of the artist residencies, which will be shown on Friday on the media facade of the Ars Electronica Center. And also, Mark Shepard with False Positive is an exhibition which you will find outside. And more about the whole creative potential of media facades and whether they could be community platforms for co-creating our cities, we will have in our panel at the end of this conference day, together with Nadia Carvillo from Media Lab Prado and Mike Stubbs from FACT Liverpool. Okay, so I wish us a creative day, and thank you very much for hosting this conference here.